You're listening to Oilersnation Radio, presented by the Nation Network. Subscribe for free on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Thank you, Lisa. I believe that's how Baggedmilk starts the show usually. Welcome into Oilersnation Radio, episode 20 billion.
And whatever.
I have to say, Liam, I'm a little disappointed. You get the reins of the podcast again, and you didn't give us a singing intro.
Well, I was going to say, since when do you do what BM does?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. Your own...
You were supposed to run with it.
To be fair, this was the last minute. I was not told I was doing this until I asked. so I'm really...
That's what you get for asking. It's your fault you asked.
You just made more work for yourself.
You're lucky because last time I didn't even have a list of things we could talk about today. I went on the fly. But today I came in and I actually did my job, which was big. I even found some Ask the Idiots questions I made up because, again, nobody left me any Ask the Idiots questions. So I think we're going to
on a couples retreat or like they're both gone at this time right now?
I believe it started as a work trip, and as do some work trips, it's turned into more.
I don't even know where BM went. I know Tyler went to Toronto.
Yeah, they're in different places.
Jays.
No, I thought they had a team meeting.
They were in Hinton together, which was a retreat.
Hold on.
And then
this is an organic ad read for us right here. Apparently, Overland Mountain Lodge is where they went.
Yes, Overland
Mountain Lodge. We have to talk about our experience there. So if anyone has any thoughts on that,
from the pictures I saw, it was beautiful.
It looked very nice.
And from what I heard, they played a lot of board games and they were lovely to them. So
who played board games?
The leadership team there.
Oh, I thought it was just those guys that went.
Oh, Tyler and that was the original plan.
I wasn't just those two.
I was like, that was the original plan. And I think everybody else just tagged along and then it became the business meeting thing. I don't know. But
so where is BM?
He's in Vancouver, I believe.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Little getaway.
Tyler's currently at the
So they spend a couple days together in the mountains. Yeah. And at that point, they're both like, peace out, and they had to go opposite directions.
Yeah, I don't know.
Allegedly,
what happened?
Allegedly, because we don't know. They haven't sent photos of like where they are separately yet. So,
well, no. Tyler posted a photo yesterday of being at the absolutely terrible baseball game,
and you can't tell me that Baggedmilk wasn't behind the camera.
And Baggedmilk posted a photo, or maybe some things about being at a lake.
Photoshopped it.
They're trying to pull a fast one.
Toronto Blue Jays do stink, though.
They were.
Did you guys get an invite though?
No.
Just checking.
Tyler's also going to the Buffalo Bills game on Sunday.
He went to?
He's going to the home opener on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'll just watch Josh Allen throw like 20 picks again and then come home even more sad.
Good.
I'm away.
I agree.
That team is terribly overrated.
Just
like his baseball team.
I agree.
Just like the city that his baseball team plays out of.
Yeah, every team there. Yes. Besides the Raptors. The Raptors are moderately rated. Moderately rated.
They gave us a championship within my lifetime. So
more than anyone else in this country's ever done.
Best franchise team name to come out of Toronto ever.
The Raptors?
The Raptors.
It is a good one.
It's the best. I think one of the best professional sports.
Calling the inner part of where they were all watching the games like Jurassic Park was really cool too.
That's cool. Delicious debate. Best sports name.
Moss Pit.
No, it's not a delicious bit. Delicious debate brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, but I spelled beef wrong. And I put
how do you spell beef wrong?
I just got my Friday mood on and I had an R in there, so it was BF.
You were doing beef. You were doing surf and turf. You were going to add a little shrimp to your beef.
Bless you.
Surf and turf, a burf.
Okay, delicious debate. What would you say is the Oilers' biggest deficiency from last season that needs to be corrected for this season? This was actually a mailbag question, so shout out to Blake for that one. You'll also see your responses on Monday at 7 a.m. on the website.
I'm going to say the date. It's September 15th, 2023. And I'm still saying this. To me, our issue is defensive depth. The next person up mentality just isn't quite there yet. And that's where I understand and I recognize the issue is the cap. And that's,
we have 7 NHL quality defensemen.
7.5.
I would argue that as a franchise, you need at least 8.
Find me one franchise that has 8 of these defensemen where none of them turn out to be a sort of kind of Broberg-esque player or a sort of kind of Vinny-esque player.
I'm not discrediting those players. I'm just saying every team out there has those same players who are considered NHLers, but we don't consider ours NHLers because we have this fear of
something going absolutely wrong again.
I'm just I'm looking for games played in the NHL.
That means nothing.
I disagree.
There's a kid in Toronto. There's a kid in Chicago who's going to outscore a ton of guys who've played hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of NHL games.
But defense. Connor
I'm not talking about. Yeah, I'm not talking about a draft pick here. I'm talking about an issue that's been an Oilers issue for years and years and years. They just we brought in Ryan Murray last year and was supposed to fix this issue. We brought in
what issue did we have last year on defense?
Having defensive depth, so that if the next player that goes down for long. No, I know we didn't. Yes, you're right. We had the issue up front which was where most of our players that got hurt were from. But to me, we were walking on borrowed time when it comes to our defense.
Oh, good Lord. Not a chance.
I know. You asked. The question was asked. The question was asked.
We have two guys about
what is the weakest issue on this team? We have two guys
about to start about to really take off their NHL careers. And the other 5 are well-established NHL defensemen.
I admire your optimism, Rick. I don't agree that necessarily.
Why would we think about anything else?
That Broberg and Desharnais are ready to just explode. I don't think that they're bad NHL players by any means. I would just feel comfortable having the ability to slide in somebody from below them if they were struggling and not force it through the mouth or through the teeth like we did with Desharnais last year when he was struggling and he was forced to be in the lineup.
When did he struggle last year? I would like to know this.
After his 13, 14 games where they didn't lose the game for him, that's when it started to kind of just fall apart for him a little bit. And I would have loved to have seen another NHL ready to guy just come in and play a couple games for him and then get him back.
So instead of allowing a player to play through his downs, you want to replace him with somebody else.
Yes, that's
so instead of allowing
the question asked, what is our issue? And I think having defensive depth fixes that for you.
Ugh. Rick, what's your answer?
If we had a down last year and we had that Ryan Murray here, if we had a down last year and we had Ryan Murray here, they never used Ryan Murray at all. The only reason they brought up Ryan Murray last year was at the end of the year. It was more of a goodwill type of a situation.
Exactly, but they wanted. Do you think that they didn't want to have a player?
We had a player like Ryan Murray.
No, they tried it with Ryan Murray last year. It didn't succeed. They tried it with Jason Demers last year, and it didn't succeed.
They didn't try Ryan Murray at all.
They did. They had him on the team, and he wasn't able to be better than Desharnais.
He didn't get any ice time till the end of the year, which was just out of
You're proving my point, Rick. You're proving my point.
Is that I'm telling you, he was never good enough to be on the team. These players are better. Broberg and Desharnais are both better than your Ryan Murrays and Jason Demers.
Yes, and that's the issue right there. The team needs better options to come in and fix that for the depth.
I don't think
you're proving my point. I really appreciate you proving my point. You just keep saying the guys that I'm pointing to and saying that were the issue last year. I think that they need better versions of those guys.
So just trade them both
to come in.
So just get rid of them both.
No, I didn't say that.
You did.
The question Liam asked. The question Liam asked was, what is the biggest weakness for this team going into the season? My answer is defensive depth. Rick's answer is
not defensive depth.
What's your answer, Rick?
Biggest deficiency going in is secondary scoring.
From last season, that needs to be corrected this season.
Yeah. Outside the 4 or 5 forwards, you need more from the bottom.
Yeah, period. There was another question in the mailbag this week that was like, essentially, is the Oilers zone coverage defensively like the problem and like why they fell out of the playoffs? Like, well, no, it's the fact of like
they could not score.
Nugent Hopkins and Hyman just didn't show up in the second round, and that's basically why they didn't get through the Vegas.
They put up their average numbers offensively. We are the Stanley Cup champions right now. I said this last week, and I say that again right now.
Nuge does his job. Hyman does his job. We're still partying.
Yeah, I think that problem is going to be pretty resolved too if Connor Brown's in the lineup as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it feels like they've at least, in bringing in Connor Brown and bringing in a Lane Peterson and bringing in Adam Erne, they're trying to put some NHL ready bodies in that.
Adam Erne is not an NHL ready body. That dude's going to be an AHLer, hands down, no problem.
Okay, but here's a question actually. Tyler and I had this debate the other day. Do you think Dylan Holloway is a lock for this team, or do you still think he has like a little bit to prove to make it?
To make the team?
Yeah, like do you think he'll be on the opening day roster?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'll be there because of cap
But they can send him down.
I know, but
who's going to play in front of him?
I just think, for example,
you got to throw these guys in the deep end and let them swim.
Yeah. No, for sure. But like, say they want to keep Gagner and Sutter, for example, and it's like, okay, well, we can't keep them both because we have to Dylan Holloway. Do you send Dylan Holloway down for the first 15 games? And so I looked. Ryan McLeod played 90 games before he came up. I believe Dylan Holloway's played around 50 in the American League. I'm not saying Dylan Holloway isn't good enough. I just would not be shocked by any means if they were like, Dylan Holloway is not on this opening day roster, which is fine.
I'd be shocked.
You would be. I mean, I would be. I'm assuming he's going to be on the team, but if they're
I'd be shocked if they send him to the AHL.
Anybody else? Is everyone in agreement with Rickon?
I think with secondary. I think Holloway will be on the team. He does have to prove himself though.
You can't just come in. He's not just like skip out on camp and whatever, but he come in and play the way he can. He'll be fine.
Feels a little bit like the Broberg situation from last year, where it was just kind of, we're counting on him to also be in that spot, right? Like we want him there. We want him to be at that point in his projection and in his progression.
He played 50 some games last season.
Last season, Dylan Holloway played 51 NHL games with the Oilers, obviously. And he's played 45 in the American League. So he's played more games in the NHL than he has in the American League.
But the flip side of the Broberg situation is, again, we do have options. If he does falter, they do have people that could fill in.
A lot of these players, they need to play with better players, and you don't get that when you go in the AHL. So you go back to like Clefbaum way back now. Clefbaum did not look great by normal standards when he was playing in the AHL. Didn't have great numbers, blah blah, all that stuff. So when he came up and they gave him that big ass contract, everyone sat there and like, well, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? When you're playing in the NHL, players are where they're supposed to be. The pucks ends up where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
When you're in the AHL, that's not the way it goes. Some of these guys need to play with the better players because that's who they are. Holloway is definitely one of them.
That's
Holloway
the game that you're meant to play. So it's like play the game and
they're like, it's a give and go. You give the puck, you go to there. Yeah. In the AHL, you don't know if that puck's going to be there. In the NHL, you know it's going to be there.
For reference, Oscar Clefbaum played 48 games in the American League, scoring 10 points. And then he became a full-time Oiler the year after and had 20 points.
And that's just a situation where your time is up in the AHL. It's now you need to go, you start again. Like you don't come to the AHL and become a high-end NHL. You come to the AHL and now you got to get your feet wet in the NHL. You're going to make some of the mistakes you made in the AHL because you're at a different speed, different type of players. You need to make those mistakes at every level. You just make sure you don't make those mistakes twice. And that's where we're at.
What were you going to ask, Dan?
I can't remember when Clefbaum was in the AHL.
2014, which was his first year in Canada or North America with OKC. And then he played again in 2015, which was
one of those would have been the lockout year.
Yeah, he played 9 games, had 8 points. So he was ready for the NHL then. Yeah. Kennedy, what is your answer to the delicious debate? The Oilers' biggest deficiency from last season that needs to be corrected.
I think it's making sure that they start on time and consistently, because last season we saw it where the collapse happened during the second period. Seasons before that, we've seen it where they didn't start off great and then got their urgency in the third. Seen it in multiple times where they've started off the first really, really good and then fall off again. And it's just like, play your game, play consistent. Don't get in your heads about it. Sometimes even like they'd score their own goal and you'd have to almost like take it down a notch because
call a timeout. That's what I said last week. Yeah. They had that problem last week.
It's like a junior hockey mentality.
We'd score and then the other team would be, we got to go back. And I don't know what we were thinking. We're like, hey, timeout, boys. Refocus. Reset. We scored. Get back out there and play the way you know you
exactly. Can. You don't need it to be a 5-6 game. You can make it a 2-0 game if you really play consistently. Get out of your heads. I don't know.
I think that's the thing I'm most curious about the Oilers this season. If they're able to actually shut down more games, and this team is going to have absolute shootouts most nights because it's just who they are. But are they able to actually shut down teams a little bit better?
But that's like the Leon quote from that brought up this conversation last week. Is I can't remember exactly what he said, but we have to learn how to win.
Yeah.
And those are the games, not the games where it's 7-1 where we're just crushing it. It's the games where we score a goal. And, okay, now you got to come out and lock them down and proceed that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The one that sticks out to me the most was the New Jersey Devils loss at the start of last season. Well, we were winning 3-2 and then New Jersey scored 2 goals in 7 seconds or something.
Did we do that with Carolina too?
We might have, but the New Jersey one sticks out.
I saw the vein pulse in your head when you said that out loud. So I think it's true. Yes.
I remember, I could tell you where I was sitting in that game. Yeah.
But the New Jersey one was what started that New Jersey's run where they won like 16 games in a row or something like that. We could have shut that shit down.
But also the team also literally needs to start the games on time.
They've been better. So
they've gotten better.
That's
like last year was
because there's been way too many times. But it's kind of like the day. It's like unlike the Oilers suck during day games. Well, in the last couple of years, I've actually been pretty good about it. Yeah. We're just remembering things from way back when, and
like the matinees just suck because they
used to be terrible.
They were always. You just knew it was going to be a loss.
We're a haunted fan base.
Yeah.
My answer to the delicious debate, which is 2 parts, I guess. I think they need more consistency from goalies in crucial times, in the sense of like Skinner was obviously very good throughout the season, but Stuart Skinner was not supposed to be that good. They weren't supposed to rely on him that much. It needed to be Jack Campbell. And then in the playoffs, I know we spoke about it last week. Other guys didn't show up, but sometimes you didn't need a save and they didn't always get it. But then Jack Campbell was good. So I would just like to see some bang average performances on a more consistent basis from some bounce back from Campbell would be nice.
Yeah, well, and I expect
the thing is like when you go back and look at his numbers, he wasn't that bad. Nope. It was just it was
horrendous.
We have PTSD from it, and it's just like their tandem needs to be better.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, and I think that we as Oilers fans also can recognize that Stewart might have a bit of a regression this year. He's a sophomore goalie. Goalies typically, at least in my own anecdotal experience, get punished a little bit more the second and third time through the rosters. And that's just natural.
He'll be in a different spot though, because he's not like, he doesn't have to have the big dinner plate, right?
And
you can shuffle the others to Campbell, let him and kind of let Stu kind of, if he goes on this little ups and downs.
And that's exactly it. And you expect that from him, whereas you expect a progression and a new Jack Campbell. I felt back in the playoffs that I'm a throw a kitchen sink at everybody kind of thing. So I wanted to see Jack in those playoffs. I recognize that they didn't want to have him as a starter for whatever reason. They didn't, but this is the year now where it's like clean slate, time to figure it out, Jack, and Stu will be.
I don't think we have a starter though. I think we do a 1A, 1B.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
I think for the first half, like probably until the All-Star break.
Until they decide.
Yeah. Until someone...
Unless the goaltenders decide that one takes off or one drops off. Yeah. I think you're going to see a pretty much 50-50 type of situation.
Which is a dream for Oilers fans. It's what we wanted.
That's what we've always wanted.
Yeah. Well, that was forced by Lehner's injury at the start of the year. But,
and to have like a homegrown goalie to be part of that.
I don't care where they're from.
I know, but it's just like... It's just the grand scheme of it all.
Yeah, it's a cool story.
It is.
But one thing about Campbell that is actually kind of driving me nuts is the amount of pressure people are putting on him.
Oh, agreed.
So he's going to finish top 5 in save percentage. Like Vezina Canada is like, this guy had an 888 save percentage last season. Let's simmer down a little bit and
break 900.
910, 915. That's what I expect from both.
Break 900 first and then maintain that.
I think you can put an expectation of a 910, 915 on him.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have better defense in front of him as a team situation. He has to be better himself. But yeah, at this point, this team, if you want to be a Stanley Cup contender like we are, you need to have certain expectations for every single player on that roster. Mm-hmm. And 910, 915-ish and up has to be there for their goaltenders. Like anything else than that will be a bit of an L.
Agreed.
Yep.
There you go.
Agreed.
Delicious debate. Brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Go to the mall and get some.
Do you have any on you?
Actually, Aaron put his hand in his bag before and pulled out a bag of it. So that was great.
We found one bag here yesterday and he was supposed to share it.
It's in his backpack. There was a box of it from the golf tournament.
Yeah, we ate the rest.
I had 3 bags last week when I was here. That was great.
You ate it all.
Go to WEM, grab some. Say hello to Jason Gregor while you're there at Sports 1440. You go on
walk up to the glass and
check out the logos on the window. Yeah, pretty cool.
If you go on to Leduc, maybe stop in there too.
Are those yours?
Yeah. Just a little flex.
How do you spell Cervali, Kennedy?
Shut up.
I just wanted to bring you down a peg.
Humble my ass.
Kennedy and I have been working on a project where we're making intros for all the shows this year. And I was doing a DFO rundown one. I was like, that's not how you spell Cervali. Seravv. I can't remember what to spell it.
He's like, I will show off here for a second and wait a second.
I immediately regret
I was like, take that back.
He literally has at least 3 screens in front of him. He could have brought it up too. And this is how you spell it. And looked at us the whole time and make it seem like it came right off the top of his head.
So okay, I have the power of editing. Kennedy, it's spelled Seravali.
Noted.
And that's the first time I've read it on the show.
So I'm going to spell it wrong again.
Okay, what else have we got here? Not a ton. Obviously, the Young Stars tournament is this weekend.
Never heard of it.
Biggest name going for the Oilers is Xavier Bourgault. Is anyone really going to watch, or is anyone... Okay, so here's the thing.
How do you watch it, Liam?
The other 3 teams are all playing it live on YouTube for free.
I'd love to tune in.
But the Oilers have put it behind a paywall on Oilers Plus.
And so the other 3 teams have a Oilers Plus of them?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think
they couldn't do that.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. I believe the Oilers are a bit of a testing market for the NHL to show that teams can do this at a
I think that's a level. Terrible decision based on the NHL, because you can't go to a Canadian team and go, it's just because we're going to do it.
But it's the start of
we're not the average.
We're the test market for Canadians.
Average hockey fan anymore.
We are the test market for Canada.
You need to use places in the US and see.
I agree with that. Agree,
because we will.
100%.
We paid to watch games 20 years ago. They had the pay-per-view games,
Superstation, and
12 games a year.
Yeah.
We sat there and it was $11.99, whatever the hell the price was. Yeah, no problem. Play it. Let's go.
Yes.
And that was no commercials.
Well, my parents weren't going to let me. I had to go to a house of a friend's that had it. But
I mean, if we're talking 20 years ago, I was not living with parents at the time. So
I was still living with the parents.
That cable bill was on me to pay for, and I was damn right. I may not paid some other bills, but I was making sure I watched that game.
So there you go, dating ourselves.
Listen, at this point, you just got to embrace it.
But I like the stupidity of this is the fact that the other teams have it available. Like, what is the grab that is going to make an Oilers fan be like, no, I'm not going to listen to
the outside the actual game. So there's got to be production before the game, during the intermissions, during the commercials, quote unquote. They do a
good job.
I know a couple of people. Yeah, I know a couple of people that do the work for Oilers Plus. So I asked them last year.
Flex.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Well, I couldn't get anything. They have my picture on the damn building. I can't get a damn thing. Right? So there's no flex in here. So I asked them as you guys know me, I'll just ask any questions.
Yes.
And he said, he felt that 2-sided. One, he get the anger behind it, but 2, as someone creating the content, he said it was good enough, and he thinks that he was all for it. It's a small dollar amount, right? It's a whole year for $24, as far as I understand.
I actually have no idea. I think
it's $39 now.
There's a pre-sale or something like that. I saw it yesterday.
Not massive. It's affordable,
but it's a couple bucks, so it's whatever a month, right? It's a very minimal charge. People are spending double, triple, quadruple that on coffees and stupid shit.
I paid
and it gives you a lot of in-depth stuff.
Yeah,
it's stuff you want to see.
It's a team that's sponsored by Rogers. It's partnered with Rogers. Rogers Sportsnet is a thing. Like, we pay for cable so that Rogers Sportsnet puts that broadcast out for us.
And we get that broadcast. They don't take anything away from it.
I understand. And I don't get me wrong. I'm playing the devil's advocate for the person that you were speaking of or on behalf of here. But there's a certain element of, and we talked about it with wanting to make this league more accessible to people.
Yeah.
And then we turn around and we're like, but you're fucking Canadians. So we're just going to put it in behind a paywall. And I get it. I totally get it, because it's a business and they want to make money everywhere. But those people were making content for free, quote unquote, long before.
No, I think this content's more and more in depth, is it not? There's some of the stuff out there now that's on it. And I mean, I haven't seen it unless it gets clips of it on whatever. There's stuff there that we've never had an opportunity of seeing before.
Yeah, the behind the scenes show and stuff.
Yeah, all the golf tournament shit or whatever. You got to see these guys. They don't even get Sportsnet won't even give us a pre-show.
I agree.
Game show, but they're not going to give us. They're not going to give us any type of time to give us the stuff they want to see.
But the response shouldn't be the team then turns to the fans and is like, "Hey, you guys pay for more content." No, it should be Rogers. You need to be holding up your end of the bargain.
They even have like the Oilers channel on Rogers.
Contracts and stuff.
Okay, so it's $9 a month.
And that's a good point too, Liam. You make a good point there. Like on our cable, there is a channel that says Oilers Sportsnet. And there's a channel that says Flames Sportsnet. Yeah, and they could have.
I keep calling them and ask them to take that off my TV, but they will not remove that.
They could have shows on there that they've at least you could have old episodes, old games playing, whatever the hell you want. But they're not doing it.
But that's not Sportsnet. That's not just Sportsnet. Sorry, there's 5 TSN channels, and there's times when all 5 are the same damn thing.
But if I'm a Jets fan or a Leafs fan,
exact same way.
But if I'm a Jets fan or a Leafs fan, I'm saying the exact same thing just to TSN.
But that's the problem. Leafs get a pre-show. Canucks get a damn pre-show. Yeah. The Flames get some sort of weird daytime talk show type of thing. The Edmonton Oilers are treated like trash.
If you're looking for a pregame show,
I was
we'll have a pregame show this year. Leading right up to puck drop.
That'll be Aaron's show, and I think we came up with a name yesterday. So stay tuned.
The pregame show?
Pregame show.
Is it the pregame show?
No, it's
okay.
Oilers Plus is also
Kennedy's just like shush.
I was like, I gotta make it the logo for it.
$60 for 12 months for Oilers Plus.
There you go.
So you can get it right now for
$39.
Yeah, I just
$23.99 or something like that. I saw.
Typed in my email, so I'm gonna get some spam pretty quick here. There you have it. Also, did you guys see what the Phoenix Suns are doing just on this stuff? Where they're literally like sending out cable boxes to houses because now the Phoenix Suns are going to be played on free cable or free satellite,
local,
which is kind of cool.
We're sending on antennas.
We're doing ads for them now.
I know. No, he doesn't even know what an antenna is.
Antenna, isn't it?
Like rabbit ears. Like
I don't know exactly what they're sending out, but they said they're sending on antennas.
Antennas?
So that's where I go. I went right back to rabbit ears when I was. Yeah, you couldn't even do that. They can't. How are you going to balance them on the TV? Just sit on the top of the TV.
TV's flat.
Dan, I know you've seen photos. You two may have not even know what I'm talking about.
I'm not that rabbit ears.
I
do have some age behind me.
I was a part of it. I've wrapped tinfoil around rabbit ears.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a thing.
Okay.
I know what they are. I don't know how to work though.
You used to, just like a radio station, you used to be able to pull TV signals out of the air. And so you'd use an antenna to do so. Yeah. And like there was literally like I had a mini TV that was maybe like 8 inches by 6 inches across, and it had antennas, and I could watch TV anywhere I had power or batteries.
Yeah.
Battery powered television.
I'm sure my dad has one in his storage somewhere.
Yeah, it's
probably.
It's good living, but now you can't do that.
There's gonna be a certain group of listeners right now who are like yelling at their radios and stuff, their memories and stuff, and there's gonna be another group who are going, "What the hell are you people?"
Turn it off, okay, boomers.
What is this? Okay.
That's all the kids from McNally High School. Big fans.
The biggest news of the Oilers week: Adam Erne or Ernie,
huge news.
Been PTO'd, played 61 games with Detroit last season, 8 goals, 18 points. Also spent time in the American League, played in 9 games, 5 points, all assists. 355 games played in the NHL, left winger. Is Adam Erne
the answer?
Got a sniff of making this team?
No.
I think he does.
No.
I think anybody with offensive talent does in this day and age. He'd have to have, he's only 28, exactly. He has to have an inspired camp by far. He has to outdo the Dylan Holloways, probably the Warren Fogels of the world.
Yeah,
all of a sudden Janmark. A sniff now is becoming like
that's
lottery
just, I think that's even just to get the sniff, right?
Yeah,
like he has to beat those guys at camp, but I think he can do it.
Honestly, I'm taking like 13, 14 forwards. I'm taking 8 defensemen. I'll bring up a 3rd goaltender. Everyone else go away. This year we're about winning. No, this year we're about winning the Stanley Cup. If you're not going to be on this team, and those guys most likely aren't, I don't even want, not that I don't want you around, but I want 14 forwards, 8 defensemen, 3 goaltenders. You guys are the ones in charge of this. There is no other noise from outside. It is strictly you and you only. Let's get going.
Like, listen to Connor. You just want to fucking win. Like,
yes. I'm no more. I don't care about PTOs. There's a certain amount of players that are going to be on this team. Let's get going. Let's get to business. Trim the fat. No, I don't want no rookies here. I don't want no kids here. Move them all away. Go down to your own tryouts at like Bakersfield or wherever the hell you're going. This year is just for the big boys. This is a Stanley Cup contender. Get rid of the noise.
One thing I'm actually curious about though, which is I understand the veterans rule of like you need so many in games, but Holland is like said in the past is that he doesn't just bring in guys for the sake of it. Like he brings them in for like, because he thinks they can make the team. And notice if 3 players on a PTO, obviously Sutter and Gagner, like I think one of these guys is making the team somehow, some way. I just don't think you're going to bring in 3 guys just to come and
of course not
skate around.
But also you have to, we also have to remember that the very nature of the PTO is that any team can grab them at any time. Sure. So that is an opportunity, but there's a ton of PTOs out there. Carolina has 7.
Dude, Arizona just brought on 13 or something like that in one day.
It was, isn't that because of the LA game that's happening in Australia? So
they have to fill their.
I had an envelope in my mailbox from them. I just tore it up. I said no, thank you. It's probably my PTO opportunity.
I'm sure.
I was trying to figure out. Like,
they called you.
They asked you to come to the Australia game, and you just ripped up the envelope. What?
I got no time for this.
It's actually not a bad lineup.
This is a Stanley Cup year for us.
Yeah.
We need to all be focused on this. I don't want no noise. Let's get going.
So you're out on Adam Erne, just to confirm.
Who?
Exactly. Dan, you know him.
I do.
What's he like? I don't know. It looks like he's kind of, so he was a 2nd round pick, 33rd overall in 2013, which would have been the 3rd pick in the 2nd round back then, I guess. His NHL career has never really taken off. He had 11 goals once, and he's hit the 20-point mark twice. Looks like he's kind of been in and out of injuries, but he did score 41 points once for Quebec.
Yeah, well, and I honestly, like, from my brief time in Halifax and as a fan of the Halifax Mooseheads, I do actually remember Adam Erne being a player to watch. Now, the QMJHL, of course, is was at that time still pretty free for offensive skill, and so I think that his QMJHL numbers are not necessarily ones that you can point at as expectations. But I do think that he's just a good, solid player, and he was a scorer, and that's what this team is dying for in that bottom 6 role. And so I don't know, like I'm with you. I think that there's the mentality of Holland is he's not bringing in guys just to bring them in, just to be competitive at camp. I think he wants this guy to be on his team, and he has the history of being a Detroit Red Wing already. So now it was a Detroit Red Wing without Ken Holland, wasn't it? Because he came in 2019.
Still never heard of this guy, so I have no idea.
I was like, Detroit mentioned, take a shot.
Yeah, he was an exciting young prospect. I think he was a part of. Oh no, I was thinking of another trade. I thought he was in the Sergachev trade for some reason.
He was in one trade. He was traded for a 4th round pick in 2020.
Oh, there you go.
For Zadie Wisdom.
He was traded for some wisdom. There you go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. There you have it. Adam Erne. Rick's out. Okay, before we get going, Cornerstone Insurance, Edmonton's premier broker insurance brokerage with over 90 years of success and still growing. Visit cornerstoneinsurance.ca/nation and use discount code NATION for exclusive rates. They have it. The best of the best in Alberta. Now, this is not Oilers news, but it'd be silly of us not to address. Mike Babcock is back in the news.
Why is that, Liam? What good news do you have?
Believe it or not. So, Pobisnet on Spain Chicklets basically called out Mike Babcock for looking through players' phones. Mm-hmm. And then Columbus came out and said, no, that is not exactly what happened, but now there's a whole investigation on it. Your thoughts?
Wow.
He's crazy.
Is Mike Babcock innocent?
So yeah, exactly. Right. Go ahead, get canceled. No, I think that the piece that I think everybody's really upset about is that he was making them display it on a TV, and therefore
that's your personal property. Like I think about being in high school and stuff like that, and there would be drama or whatever, and the principals could not touch your phones, whatever. It's the same mentality, right? Like. Yeah. You can't that's private property.
I don't think we have enough information. I'm not standing up for this dude at all, but there is a part of society now where we just see something we don't like and we all just pile on and make things up and take things to the 10th degree about everything. We don't have enough context.
Yeah,
because we've heard someone come out from Toronto's management group that said, he did it here too. I showed him a picture of this. He showed me a picture of his pickleball court, blah, blah, blah. And that's really what he said. Nazem Kadri said, same thing. if you're old enough, and Dan, sorry, you two aren't, but there was a time when you went to someone's house, if you didn't know them, all there was on their coffee table, like underneath it, was photo albums. And that's what you did. You looked at photo albums. Your mom sat with her mom and her grandma and blah, blah, blah. They went through photo albums. This dude is old as shit. He grew up in that time. So yes, there could be some nefarious stuff where he's out there trying to find that. But there's also an opportunity that's just like, he's just an old man and doing old thing ways.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that there's a lot of people out there who are looking for an opportunity to drag his name through the mud. Whether he did it all right or did it wrong, that is not a thing at all. What they're trying to do is just drag his name through the mud.
But it's because of his track record.
Yeah,
100%. Right? But to be fair, I don't think what he did in Toronto was all that bad. I think it's greasy, but I don't think it, and you can say, I don't like it. I don't like the tactic. I don't like that. But and I hate the word, cancel him or do what, like push him out, make him like, yeah, you're an asshole. You're a dick, like whatever. Guess what? If you go back to football, go back to college sports, go back to anything long enough, it's all there. That's what they all did. They all did that stupid shit. We don't really like that anymore. Kids now, they definitely turn their back on stuff more than just trying like eating something you don't really like, forcing it down. Mm-hmm. They flip that bowl upside down and tell you it's trash. Like it's just, we don't have enough context here. If it's what Biz was saying, then yeah, it's terrible. If he's like trying to put your videos on the wall and in a way of like trying to shame you or whatever the hell he's trying to do, yes, terrible. Get him out. You should not have that in your company. Mm-hmm. But if it's like, oh, it's your girlfriend. Oh, yeah. Oh, let me see a picture. Blah, blah, blah. As you're trying to get to know somebody, then yeah, it's a little bit old school, but I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I'm kind of on the fence on it because I agree. It's like, if you're asking someone to see pictures and it's just like a one-on-one conversation, you can say no. I just think it's weird that Columbus even hired him in the first place, to be honest, because his track records outside of Toronto and Detroit, wherever, like the U of S, like Jay Rosehill was saying on his show, Leaf Morning Take the other day, that he's heard stories. I've heard stories of what he was like at the U of S.
What kind of stories though? Because I've heard him just being stories, but what?
Just being an asshole.
Rosehill's story, the Cliff Notes was that he had a contact at the U of S that said that Babcock delegates everything, that stuff that he shouldn't be delegating. And this is just the words that I remember. I don't have the answer what that means. I'm just telling you what he said. Yeah. And that
it was vague.
And that he has said something to the effect of, I'm just here to fix my image. And that was
the last little bit.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I see what you're saying.
Babcock was there and like literally said it.
Okay. I could definitely see that.
So I'm with you, Liam, in the sense that, and I think I said this earlier, where it's just like, I'm sick and tired of this coaching carousel where it's like we have 36 coaches that are kind of going around on the dry cleaner rack and they're just going and they're rotating it and we keep passing them up.
But it's changing
at some point. Yes, it is changing.
But youth now,
but it hasn't shifted enough in my opinion.
But why is new always better than someone who's been there, done that?
Why is old always better than somebody new?
If you're going to hire somebody, you're not. But see, that's the resume.
This is the issue that you get into when you've got a guy like Babcock, where he's got how many red flags to say the other side of that. What you're saying is not wrong, right? Experience, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But how many red flags are we going to say before we take them out of the carousel and it's just done?
That goes into like a bigger conversation of like the culture shift of how sports is period with,
society.
But I also just want to say to your point as well. And sorry, not to cut you off. No. But it's just, to me, it's important to, now we've got Biz Nasty and you got Whitney and you've got Commodore and you've got all these guys coming out and saying they're going to get them. They're just going to get them. And some of the statements that they've made are absolutely outrageous. Paul Bissonnette, you can't tell me that you're a player's guy and then go and make the statements that you're going to say about what you're going to do to Babcock in the graphic way that you did it. It's just nobody has clean hands, and that's frustrating to me. And it's just, so I want it to be done. I want it to be over, but then I want there to be a better conversation going forward because it's like you said, Rick, everybody is going into this with like a preconceived notion of what the truth is.
Because the original text was not even a Columbus player.
No. Yeah. It
sounded like somebody that did not like him in Toronto heard something and said, hey, Biz, you got to put this. Now, why would you put that into that into that podcast because you want to take this dude and absolutely
because they're a players podcast, and I understand that, right?
But if you want to bring it up in terms of we need to bring this out properly, quote unquote, then you kind of go to
a Columbus player.
No, like you go to Drager or you go to like somebody. If you go to Biz and Wit, you're going to the TMZ. You're going to that. Yeah. You know exactly what you're doing there. You're trying to start a fire there. You're not trying to deal with this
in a journalistic way.
Like an adult.
Yeah.
You're trying to make a show out of this right now. So Commodore, I know he has issues. I don't listen to him. He has... He obviously is biased, and that's fine. Whatever. So fine. I take his out. Biz, and I'm not 100% sure what you were referring to there. I'd like to read that.
I don't want to say all the things.
But they have their reactions. To me, I think we don't have enough context.
Nope.
That's just it.
And also those guys we don't have the same context for them either. The guys on Spit and Chicklets, I don't know how many messages they're getting because they are former players. I don't know how many guys are telling them keep going because the truth is there. I don't know all that stuff. I just want it to just figure out. And I think that's like, it's a societal thing, right? We want the answer. We want the answer yesterday, and we want to know why he was hired.
We don't want the answer. All that. We want my answer.
Yeah. And it's just like everything is going to run its course. I am glad that the league has investigated this.
Me too.
I'm glad that they're looking into it, and I want a resolution. Whatever it is, I just want a resolution.
There's not going to be one, unfortunately. I know. Because no matter what he says or what the league says, the other side's going to say, nope, blah, blah, blah. Or they're going to, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Like, there will not be a clean break of this.
Everybody looks for a consequence, and there's never the right consequence because no sides are ever happy. So it's just like, investigate it, make sure it doesn't happen again.
Okay. Here's a question. Does he coach all year for Columbus? Liam?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
I would have said no before this.
I think the room, if this is under investigation and some guys come out and be like, I don't like this, and it wasn't everyone in the room who did like showed him his pictures and stuff, he's gonna know, and it's gonna rip the dressing room apart. And they've not even dropped the puck on training camp yet. Never mind.
Yeah, you can't.
It's actually,
you're gonna coach a team.
What happens if it is relatively innocent and that person just kind of like blew it out of proportion? And this is what the investigators find.
Yeah, maybe it's just one person who wasn't happy with it.
So I do think he will coach to the end of the year.
I think that I honestly, I would say
never know, but I'm just saying.
I would say results are going to probably hurt him too. I could see the team quitting on him.
But a first year coach, regardless of how bad your team is most likely going to make it through the full year.
I think of I think this NHL, this new NHL, these players are taking the power back. We saw it in New York when when Quinn, I think it was David Quinn, who's in San Jose now. Who's the head coach?
Dan Quinn?
Yeah. Dan Quinn. Yeah. When he went out for a game, he was sick or something. And last minute they brought the Wolfpack coaches up and then they won 9-2. And the rumors out of the room afterwards was that was on purpose. They wanted to show that they could do it when they didn't have him in the room, and then he was gone less than a year later. So I don't know. Like I just think that the players have a little bit more power these days, and I think that's a good thing. I personally do think it's a good thing
because it can go too far. Look at basketball,
of course. Yeah, you don't want basketball.
They literally have to bring in a rule that says you can't just take the night off because you're management, which is fantastic. I mean, these guys are making that just wave side.
Well, but
these guys are making $60 million a year, and they're like, it's a Thursday. I got to put my feet up. It
happened to me actually. I went to a Phoenix Suns and Milwaukee Bucks game the year they both went to the finals, and Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and Giannis didn't play. I had to watch the Chris Middleton and Ricky Rubio show.
And how much did you pay for that?
I paid like $40, but the point was I was only in Phoenix for a week and I didn't even get to see the guys play who I wanted to see.
And this is going to sound callous, but like, I wonder what happens on Broadway when you go to see the big production and you've booked the tickets.
They don't take time off. I don't think.
They'll pull people like
they have an understudy.
They have an understudy, so they can. You could be going to see Kennedy play the lead role of Evita, and then that night you arrive and it's like actually the role of Evita will be played by Kylie tonight.
Why? Yeah, I'm curious. Give us like some statistical breakdown. Right? How many times? Because I feel like if you're that show and that show is you need to be having like a knife out of your head before you like If you have a cough or a cold, you're like, no, I'm still going. It's because if she has a better show than me, peace out, I'm done.
That's the thing, but that's the thing with the NBA with the load management is it's like, okay, like.
No, they know that because
they can't do that in the NHL.
$60 million a year. Yeah. There's 11 guys on the roster. They know damn well what they are.
That's fair.
Yeah. And when they released the list, I didn't know how they made the criteria for it. Because I imagine if you think you're a star and then you didn't make the list.
That's fair. Yeah.
But anything else on Babcock? What have I got here?
Just allow things to play out before we get too loud about anything.
I think it is funny. Obviously, everyone's going to give an instant reaction, but the people who are saying like, how could anyone believe what Biz said? And now the NHL is doing an investigation.
Well, I think the NHL has to look into it anyways. 100%, and the NHL has to tell everyone they're looking into it just to make themselves. They're all like just taking care of themselves.
Yeah. Okay. Kennedy, you ready?
Call game.
Your game. Okay. Before we get to that, subscribe to the YouTube. 30,000 likes. Tyler's taking his clothes off for a photo shoot, apparently. You guys see that one?
No.
Hopefully we don't.
He's doing a boudoir show.
Yeah. It's every time those guys go away somewhere.
Is he the one bringing these things up, or is someone like putting this on his plate?
What I was told is that he actually like kind of volunteered, which is
not even on this show.
It was during their retreat. Whatever happened at this Hinton Overlander Lodge,
Mountain Lodge.
Yeah, there was a conversation and about being consistent about saying something to see what effect it would have on our subscribers. So Tyler volunteered himself.
He literally just did it with cat food. What is he doing?
I know.
It's the next level. It's the Yaremchuk way.
I feel like we've been proving this for years with all of this stupid crap
that we do. Or the Nation way, actually.
Yeah. Like, Chris wearing a turkey hat for almost a calendar year.
Oh,
me wearing shorts.
Yeah, you've been running for 13 years now.
Running for years.
Oh, you were in shorts for like fucking half a decade.
500 days in a row. Baggedmilk has worn or eaten beets and given himself gout many times because of it. Like,
do you have gout from beets?
Yeah, it's like a super
a doctor
big,
messaged him.
It's like a super big concern for if you have that much. I think it's whatever the acid that is in beets. If you have too much of that stuff, it can give you gout later in life. Baggedmilk will haunt our dreams later on when he's long and gone and dealing with the gout. But yeah, it's we've done some weird things at the Nation.
In the last 7 days, we've only gained 464 followers on the YouTube, so people do not want to see.
What we're saying is you have to give a positive.
Go subscribe.
Go subscribe.
You can watch Tyler and I's show, Oilersnation every day on October 2nd. And now Greg's show is live there too.
And there will be some new shows once the season starts. A pregame show. Like we said. After dark.
Do we go onto YouTube?
Yes. O&R will be.
We will be on YouTube.
Live or we taped?
Taped. Video element and real life as well will be a video element too. So some moving and shaking. New logos dropping for O&R and real life as well. So
subscribe for that.
Yeah. Some fun stuff happening. Okay, quote game.
1 second, I got one more.
Okay.
Nation vacation.
Oh yeah.
Dan won't be there this time around, right? No.
Yes, correct. I won't be there. No, yeah.
Okay. Right. So I want to ask Rick a question specifically on this. Sorry, Kennedy, I know you're going to.
Yeah.
Are you more excited to watch the Oilers or the football game?
Oilers.
Okay. Me too.
I saw his eyes move like that.
Yeah, that was.
Well, I'm
you're lucky you're not on camera.
Devon Shore. I'll be wearing my jersey. This will be the first time.
Devon Shore.
Are you going to his place for dinner?
I wish. I've seen Devon Shore play in my Devon Shore jersey.
Question for you though, Liam.
What if he doesn't play?
You're a big Devon Shore fan. How big of a fan are you? Does he follow you on Instagram?
No, he does not. I'm not.
Did you hear from Lars?
I saw the German?
They had an interaction.
Yes. You gave him a message.
Yeah. That was then, but now he follows him back. He followed him back this summer.
Oh, but he commented on them recently.
Yeah.
Did he? I didn't know.
A whole good paragraph.
Didn't see it. My bad.
There's a screenshot.
When he left, they put out like a little tribute.
They said thank you. Yeah, when he signed in Seattle or whatever, they put out whatever they did, and he just gave like
I haven't been following my German
nice long thank you.
Yeah,
yes,
because he's a good man.
Lovely.
We all deserve a man like Devon Shore. Nation vacation sold out though, so sorry everyone.
Stay tuned for the next one.
And if you would like to come to Seattle still, contact Gavin.
Yeah.
Gavin at Oilersnation.com and just let him know you'd like to be on the waiting list.
Yes.
But
there you have it. Okay, Kennedy.
Alrighty.
You're up.
Okay, we got
what game are we playing?
Cool game.
Kennedy's game. Get your pens out.
Just for the record, Tommy Salo shoots left.
Shut up. It's so annoying.
Oh, I have a question too, Kennedy.
He shoots left.
Shoots right.
So, do you remember that game we did where you were like Mike Modano, Johnny Gaudreau, Connor McDavid? So
I edited that. I was supposed to post that today.
No, you already posted it.
Did I? Oh.
Yeah.
There was another one I edited when I was away.
Is that supposed to be the order in which that player played on those teams?
I think so. Yeah. Don't.
I was wrong.
Stop. Oh.
Sorry to call you out again. But I got that question.
I'm overplaying.
Did I play this game?
Yeah, it was the...
Yeah, you did. You got...
It was good.
Yeah, you got...
I did okay.
This is good audio, you guys. The listeners know what you're talking about lots. You'll have to check our socials later today.
Yeah,
later today. I know, yes. I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood that it's coming.
It's already out.
There's a lot of beef behind the scenes. Anyways.
People trying to like not behind the scenes anymore.
He can be quiet.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so 6 quotes, double of somebody, you know the drill. Number 1, oh juicy.
Oh.
Who said it?
Was.
It was actually Aaron. Number 2, there's knives over here. You just leave knives on the floor. Number 3. Number 3. You think Bob McKenzie ever runs for a plane?
What is happening?
What? Okay.
I was away for 2 weeks. I had time to actually like.
How old are these?
It's Chris the intern, I think.
Number 4, he goes to bed very, very early because, as we know, he is very, very old.
Oh, that could be either one. Okay.
Number 5.
I'm going with my gut.
Yep. Number 5. Call our defensive zone the kitchen because it'll be the Super Stew kitchen.
Okay. Super Stew kitchen.
Number 6. I've got a 4th rule. Never give up.
Okay. I'm good.
How we doing, boys?
Probably terribly.
I think I probably got 1.
Well, my 6th one was the double, so I'm not sure.
My 4th one was a double.
Okay, well.
Okay, are you connected? We have audio, folks.
Yeah, so I listened to last week's and I heard you guys wanted me to level this up. So I leveled it up and I pulled the audio from these clips. So make sure.
Don't ever challenge Kennedy to anything because she will do it.
I will take the time. I will make sure, except apparently not fact check any of the answers to my game.
Gotta check those because I will be.
Tommy Salo shoots left.
Whatever.
Mike Smith played for Phoenix. Go on.
Okay, so
you're connected, right?
There's nothing worse than being the quiz master. Honestly, there isn't.
It's powerful. It's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it.
It is. Yep.
Okay, so number 1 was oh juicy. So what do you have, Liam? Who'd you put down?
I said Tyler.
I also guessed Tyler.
I have Tyler.
Okay, so listen to the full because I pulled the full entire like context and everything. Yes. So listen, and you got to hear the quote. Okay.
This one I like. Over 1.5 total power play goals at plus 110.
Ooh.
In general?
Juicy.
Yep.
Damn it.
Wow. I like this now. This is fun because it's like, who is it? It's not going to be you.
Exactly.
It's not going to be you.
It's a little bit of a... Okay, so that was Liam.
Okay.
Video or game show style.
Okay, so number 2. There's knives over here. You just leave knives on the floor.
I had BM.
I said Liam. Was that from our Chris Buddy episode?
It was. Actually.
Oh, but I picked the wrong person.
Okay.
I picked the wrong person.
Okay, ready?
I picked the wrong person. Damn it.
I
picked the wrong person. I'm just going to keep saying it until.
No, it just disconnected.
Uh-oh.
Liam, you kicked me out of the roadcaster. Uh-oh.
Good thing we can edit this.
Hey, this will be edited, folks.
Perfect time for an ad read right now.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Ready?
Yeah, so
check. There might be a dollop of margarine still on that table.
Look, what is right there? A piece of potato chip. You guys couldn't even fucking clean up.
Well, you tried.
There's knives over here. You just leave knives on the floor.
They're disposable for the next people.
Tyler. Oh my God.
Oh, sigh.
I guess Liam, but I knew it was the buddy day. Or was the day after the buddy day?
Tyler wasn't here for the buddy day.
He was, it was like a Tuesday.
I was on the buddy episode. It was
a Tuesday episode, and then
I was on both, and there was a couple days in between.
Yeah, there was.
I'm rarely here. It was
a Tuesday, Friday.
Okay.
Food on that show.
Number 3 was, you think Bob McKenzie ever runs for a plane?
Rick.
I said me.
If they're not calling your name on the intercom, you're not that late.
No.
True. That's a good point.
You know, I'm just putting that out there.
Do you think Bob McKenzie ever runs for an airplane?
Never.
No.
Jesus, I was hopeful that I had something as clever as that.
I try to be...
Yeah. That's what I try to do in this game is I just try to take ownership of quotes.
It gives me more satisfaction when you guys don't get your own. So I got to step it up.
That's fair.
Okay. Cancel the game now. I don't care. Alrighty, number 4. He goes to bed very, very early because, as we know, he is very, very old.
BM about Tyler.
I guessed Rick.
I have BM.
Jay Downton will be making his Oilers Nation After Dark debut. So we're mixing in some fresh voices into there.
Probably because it's an early game. He doesn't have to go to bed yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, he goes to bed very, very early because he is, as we all know, very, very old.
Damn it. I thought Rick was going to do it.
Oh, you got excited.
I thought Rick was going to do it.
No.
That's the funnier thing about pulling this too, is that you think it's going to be one person and it's not.
I know the way we talk here, it could be absolutely anything.
I'm going over. Wait, maybe I got my own. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, number 5. Call our defensive zone the kitchen because it'll be the Super Stew kitchen.
Dan.
There's no way that was me. It was BM. There's no way I said that.
Well, who did you say?
I have Dan.
Am I that clever? And it's
the only person down there is going to be Soup or Stew. That's it. They're just going to be carving figure 8s in that clean sheet ice.
Go get me a Ryan O'Reilly or a Taves. That's where you go first.
Call our defensive zone the kitchen because it'll be the Super Stew kitchen. I took a long time to come up with that too. There was a huge pause. You'll note from when I stopped speaking to when I thought of that. So, and I don't have a filter. So my ADHD just interjects.
Dan didn't say a word for 15 minutes before that.
Yeah. Probably not untrue.
He was cooking in the kitchen.
Oh my God. I got excited.
Okay, number 6.
Here we go. I said Liam.
Dan, who'd you say?
I guessed myself because I didn't guess myself up until this point.
Can you reread it?
Yeah, it was. I've got a 4th rule: never give up.
He's laughing. I want to change my answer, but my answer is BM. I was a straight up guess. I had no idea.
Are you ready? Alrighty. Okay, right.
I'm at a point in my life now where I've got 3 rules. 1, always frozen pizzas in my freezer. Always. 2, always fries in my freezer. 3, always nugs in the freezer.
And
I have a 4th rule.
So do I.
Never give up.
Liam, you were a good addition to the podcast.
He's totally crying. He's laughing.
He's been peeing himself ever since he said that one.
I know. It's so funny.
What episode is that from?
That is from...
I want to go
He wants to clip it for his personal collection.
I listened to this
highlight reel.
This episode when I was in Hawaii, a February 17th episode. It is the funniest episode. I was pausing it. My notes, like the quotes you guys were saying on this one, that was the most unhinged episode I think I've listened to. I was crying. I was laughing so hard.
A Friday beers episode or?
Must have been.
February 17th.
February 17th. This is how long. This is not normal.
Wow.
That's how many quotes I pulled from it.
We had a good show.
February 17th.
There's probably at least 12.
We should just re-drop that one for everyone.
Oh, it's so funny. It took me, I think, like a day to get through it because I kept pausing and having to write down stuff. But yeah.
Well, I was heading into the long weekend, so I can see why I was amped.
Silly, goofy mood. Alrighty, how do we all do?
I went over.
I got 4.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, wow. You, pal.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was only a 2.
You got 2?
No, 3.
That's my second over. I'm pretty good at this.
I did bring, Liam said he wanted prizes, so I did bring some prizes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you want me to go get it?
Those candy out there?
No, there's another bag under my desk.
Please. As long as it's not spicy.
No, it's not. Do you want alcohol or chips?
Chips. I want my alcohol cleanse. We'll just pause for an ad.
Isn't an alcohol cleanse where you just drink alcohol only?
You did not pause for the ad. I can't mark that.
Well, yeah, but isn't... Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was going to say. We never...
1 second pause.
Is that my fault?
3, 2, 1. Okay, go ahead.
Is that my fault or is that your fault? Because we never pause officially.
Sun chips.
A little peek behind the curtain for the listener.
What alcohol did you have?
Yeah, I guess you didn't pick that option. So
Ooh, you don't even get to know.
No, you don't get to know what's in my bag of goodies.
Just turned into an ASMR podcast.
They're mini sun chips. They have mini.
I can see what they are.
Yeah.
And then if you put the bag in a microwave, the bag becomes a mini bag.
No one's going to see that. I'm not putting this out on the interweb. Okay. Ask the idiots. I didn't get left any, so I made them up. I got a bit of a cold as well, so this is really mixing in. Okay. First concert you went to, Dan?
First concert I went to was at the Agricom. It was Great Big Sea.
Who?
Great Big Sea.
What year was that?
You want me to date myself? It's 1990.
The entire show.
1990. I think it was 1996 or 1997.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not that bad.
Yeah, I've only ever been to 3 or 4 concerts in my life.
Yeah, I haven't been to.
Really?
Yeah.
And
I've seen Imagine Dragons 3 times.
And I worked one of them. I worked a classified concert.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Well, he
sings In a Ninja, right?
He's a part of it, yes. Yeah, but he's not a very good person. Sorry.
Oh.
Rick, first concert.
Sorry to give that peek behind the curtain.
I think it was the Hip.
Tragically?
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a good first.
It was before Gord Downey, though.
Before Gord?
My age? No. Gord was a couple years behind me.
No, yeah, that's fair, yeah.
Kennedy?
I love concerts. Like I literally have a spreadsheet of all the concerts I've been to. I started working at like 13, so I could afford to go to concerts. My first one though was my mom's work had a box at Rexall, so she took me to see Hilary Duff.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, that was my first one.
What was the one she had? The Rain, was it called?
Let the rain. That's Come Clean. That's Come Clean.
Down.
Yeah, that's my when it's raining outside. That's my.
Who can say what the world?
Yeah. I'm off to Vancouver next week to see Coldplay. I can't wait.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. What about you, Liam?
Oh yeah, mine was a band called Busted. They were pop punk. You ever heard the song Year 3000 that the Jonas Brothers claim they
that's
did?
how I know that song.
Busted sang that one.
They were the OGs.
Eat it, Jonas Brothers.
I'm pretty sure Conan O'Brien.
We got to see Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner call it quits.
Is it though?
All right.
Now I have a chance. I have a chance now.
Yes. You will be in Seattle at the same time we're there, right?
That's why I'm flying in early.
That would be weird, actually. Okay. Yeah, these I just made them on the fly. They're not that good. I'll be completely honest with you.
I have a question for it.
Okay.
What was your first job?
Michael's.
And how old were you?
I was 18 because I was legally not allowed to work in this country until then. And I worked there for 4 years. I worked as custom framer.
Wow.
I was a cashier, sales associate, and I was on the replenishment team, which was the people who would come in and like take the trucks and stuff. So when I was on the replen team, I was just turned 19 or something like that. So naturally I was going out most weekends. But the truck would come at 3 a.m. on a Monday morning. Oof. So imagine 19-year-old Liam trying to drag his ass out of bed or simply just not going to bed because I had to be there at 3 a.m. I didn't like that job and I was late for the replenishment team very, very often.
Fair enough.
And no one ever noticed.
Or they just liked you so much they didn't say anything.
One or the other.
Kennedy?
I worked at a movie theater, like Cineplex.
That's sick.
That was my first legitimate job too.
That was, I hated it. It was awful. But I got free popcorn out of it. So
nice.
Yeah.
And free movies?
Sometimes they would do like
How'd that work?
So they would do, so if you worked a certain amount of hours, you would get like a coupon for like, to go see a movie or whatever. But then they would also do staff nights where at like 3 a.m. you would go watch a movie.
Yeah.
So I saw Iron Man.
I was working at 3 a.m.
Well, you should have come see my movie.
Well, were you though? Or were you just like trying on your way to work at the time?
Were you laying in bed still?
Somebody else punched in for you.
That was the other thing too, was just late and all that. But yeah, I wouldn't go do the movie theater checks because I was scared of horror movies. So I'd send the other guys to go in and do the checks instead of me.
I had to do, I was the opening movie usher for like 2 years and walked through a 17-plex of movie theaters in dead silence.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Yeah. It's weird.
Super creepy.
Rick, what was your first job in 1948?
outside of delivering. Yeah, we were delivering. I was delivering flyers at first, but the first real one outside of that, I was bussing in a restaurant. That's all I've ever done is worked in hospitality.
Which restaurant, Rick?
Oh shit! What is it now? So it's still standing. The name that would stand out the most would be Century Grill.
Okay.
But in '96 it was called McCormick's.
Actually, I was on the Flyer Patrol too.
What?
The Flyer Patrol?
Oh, I was the Flyer Force. We probably disliked each other.
Yes. Oh, no, I was Flyer Force too.
Oh, you don't even know the name now. Well, you probably forgot the handshake and everything.
I was injured at work. I used to do it in my like flip-flops and somehow I didn't lift my foot up high enough and I just kicked someone's curb. My toenail came off and blood just erupted onto this person's path, I guess. And I had to knock on the door and I was like, yeah, sorry. My toe
bled all over your area.
They're like, well, what are you going to do? I was like, I got to deliver these flyers. There's nothing.
Did you continue?
I carried on like a true Flyer Force.
What'd you do with the nail? Did you
put the nail on ice so they could reattach it later?
Hobbled around.
Boy.
It was awful.
I thought you young people would have just tucked it in and went home. I'm proud of you.
I'm 27, Rick.
My first job was
young people.
My first job was scooping ice cream on the Bedford Highway in Halifax, Nova Scotia, to be able to fly back to Edmonton because the girl I loved lived here, and also the Edmonton Oilers were here, and so I went to see 2 Oilers games.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask one more.
Yeah.
What is one sports arena or stadium you would like to visit and watch a game in live? Kennedy?
I want to go to Madison Square Garden. That's on my list.
To see what sport?
Oh, hockey.
Rick?
I think most of the really cool places are all done now. Like there's a bunch of hockey arenas, the Forum, Maple Leaf Gardens, Chicago. Now I'm just gonna keep it and just go with an NFL stadium. And I'd go to Miami to go check out the Dolphins, but cool. There's a lot of soccer stadiums I'd like to go, but it's more for like the atmosphere. Yeah. Cause I think that's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would answer. I think like my answer used to have been like Fenway or Wrigley Field,
the original out in New York.
Or that would have been a good one too, Yankee Stadium. But I think now I've shifted to wanting to go to Europe and see professional soccer at the highest level. I want to just be in a building that has 100,000 people.
Atmosphere, though, right? Yeah,
I just want to feel 100,000 people.
But then it's like. They're always singing. You could be 2-31 on the season, not have a chance, and they're out there, they're singing, they're having a great time. Yep. The Oilers have a bad power play, and half the city gives up on them. It's so annoying. I would love to be in that area where it's just you just walk in there. There's so many fans that are like, they got to do something for me to cheer first. Well, no, we're a part of this damn team, you guys. We start, they go. It's a back and forth.
It kills me.
You've all seen me, and we have that kind of person.
We had our dream idea. We had our pitch. We did our thing for the nation section. We wanted it. We wanted the opportunity to be the ones that were trying to be the ones to start the chance. But you just haven't seen the vision yet.
No.
Give us a call anytime, Oilers.
Yeah. I think I'd like to go to the Olympics. Maybe see like swimming finals or something like that. Sprint, 100-meter sprint. It wouldn't be this upcoming Olympics because it's in Paris and I would never be seen dead there. I'm out on that one. Whatever 2028 is. What is that one?
They don't like you there as far as I understand.
He doesn't like that.
I don't want them to like
I think it's mutual now. Once that pod dropped and they started hearing it, oh boy, were they upset.
Where is this? Oh, LA. 2028 LA. That'd be cool to go to.
Liam on the street at the Olympics.
Never be seen dead in Paris.
Were you not here for that episode?
No, he wasn't.
Would you be seen alive there?
You were there. No.
Were you there?
So like when you pass away, if I take a photo of you to Paris,
I'll haunt you for life.
Okay, just checking. Okay. Just checking. I was just checking.
There you go.
Just had to clarify.
Haunt call performer. No. Ask the idiots. I only asked 2 of my questions, so we're good there. Nation Gear sale ends today. 50% off shirts, 25% off hoodies and hats. Visit nationgear.ca to place your order, right, Kennedy?
Yep.
Anything else on there? I mean, everything's great. I love our gear. I'm wearing one right now. And my girlfriend put a stain on, so I might have to buy a new one.
Well, you got today to do it, so have at it.
I would never find a sale like this again.
No.
But yeah, nationgear.ca. Place your order. Okay. Get my buttons ready. Hot and cold performers. What does he say? We'll start with our veggies. Oh my goodness.
Start with the veggies.
Vegetables. Kennedy, go ahead. Cold performer.
Okay. I was like, huh? My cold performer of the week is coming back after being 2 weeks away, and the amount of freaking construction on the roads. A 5-minute drive to go get groceries has taken me like 20 minutes because I have to go all the way around all the neighborhoods because there's the mad push right now for finishing everything before the snow flies. It's really annoying. I'm sick of it. Gas is expensive. Downtown? No, north side. Oh. It's so bad.
Yeah, downtown ain't no better.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Park's a mess now too.
Exactly. They're just all one road opens and another one closes, and I'm like, okay, well now this trip is going to take me an extra 10 minutes. So that's my cold performer of the week.
You're as cold as ice.
Rick.
I was going to say, it's nice that they actually open roads before they start closing, Mark, because downtown, they just keep closing them. There's nobody working on them. Where this road's closed, that road's closed. Is anyone doing it? No, we're not. Okay, fair enough. Whatever. I don't do this. I don't believe in this, but I'm doing it. Same one as last week.
The Jays?
The baseball team out of Toronto. I'm not even calling them by their name. The baseball team out of Toronto. This is supposed to be they belong to the whole country. I didn't like the Expos. I was always the Jays guy. The city thing didn't really matter back in the day. That's what I was. This team is terrible. They belong in Toronto as much as Toronto deserves them. Sorry, Tyler.
Shit.
And the annoying part is the comments from the coach afterwards. Like, I'm not concerned. It's like, buddy,
what are you supposed to say?
You got absolutely spanked.
What are you supposed to say?
Just say, I'm concerned and we need to be better. That would be better than being like, no, we're good. It's like, no, you're not good. You just got absolutely wrecked for 4 games.
They're going to make it into the playoffs just because the 3 teams they're battling have to keep playing each other. And they'll end up knocking each other out like they did like a week and a half ago when the Jays got pumped in. So they will end up making it, but they don't deserve it.
That's the Leafs way, though. That's the Toronto way.
I called them yesterday. They're the Toronto
Maple Jays or
the Blue Leafs.
Oh, yeah.
One of the two.
Dan?
Well, I was going to go with just a casual fruit flies because I can't get rid of my freaking fruit flies this year. But I'm going to give it to the Columbus Blue Jackets for entering us into this nonsensical ride that we're going to be on for a little bit longer by having hired a guy that they just knew this was going to happen. So the Columbus Blue Jackets, you get my cold performer of the week.
Yep, they sure do. Let me find the button.
Have you ever fought before? Yeah. You have? Yeah. You were probably beat up in the bus stop most of the time. I think so, huh?
I thought it was fitting that John Tortorella was the cold performer.
That's a good one.
My cold performer is the fact that my check engine light is on again. And my car is a piece of shit. So if anyone would like to help me out with that, please let me know. And by help me out, I mean bring a sledgehammer. And we'll I don't know what we'll do, but we'll maybe fix it.
Fuck the Flames.
Hell yeah. Dig it. Okay, hot performers. Dan?
I'm trying to find one because it's the summer. I'm going to say the fact that hockey fighting is back. I was able to clip my first 2 hockey fights this week for the WHL. And that means that Dan's season has started. And that's a great thing. So that gets my hot performer of the week.
Jones barbecue and foot massage. Jones barbecue and foot massage.
So good.
Rick?
Well, mine was pretty easy. Summer is almost over. But it's the return of the boys. The boys are back. Hockey season's begun. They are here. Their feet are on the ground. Everybody is in town. It's time to go.
Open Gagner star. Hey. Sammy Gagner. Oh.
Kennedy, your hot performer of the week.
Well, I'm
chips.
Good chip. I'm gonna give it to Apple AirTags because my suitcase was left in Seattle. And I finally got it back yesterday. And the only reason they could get it back was because there was an Apple AirTag in it. They were not sure, and because they pinpointed exactly where it was because of the AirTag, I got all my stuff back. So that's why you guys got chips today.
Nice. I don't know what this one is.
Sam Gagner just tied a record
This is Sam Gone.
That's an intro. It just says special OG. That could have been anything. One second.
I have no idea what I put on there. That's your Harry the Platypus impression.
Last one wasn't a button. That was just me.
You can turn that into
Still applies. Still applies.
You can turn that into music.
My hot performer of the week. The Showpark Crusaders season begins tonight down at the Randy Rosen Arena. Unfortunately, Dan, you won't see many fights because Hockey Canada put cages on all of our players because of all their lawsuit stuff, and now they can't afford insurance for junior A hockey players. So minus that stuff, go Crew, go. 7 p.m. Randy Rosen Arena. Tickets online.
We the best.
Why can't you can't shed the buckets?
No, because you got cages on now.
Yeah.
But I mean, they probably. Well, no, I don't think you can take your helmet off to fight.
It'd be some work.
We did this, but I remember where we
in
did
2000.
They take each other's off.
Well, yes, but in 2013 or whatever, when the NHL put that in, most of the leagues just kind of adopted it.
It's so lame.
We're gonna start wrapping them in bubble wrap right away. There's no contact. No, you can't say mean things to other teams.
Rick, like honestly, the Q or the OHL just had a player get suspended for 5 games, regular season games,
crazy though,
and 2 preseason games. So essentially 7 games for instigating a fight.
Yeah, did you obviously?
I did. Yeah, the clip of the.
Well, how did he instigate? So, you say you want to fight?
The guy wasn't even ready to go, and then he just grabbed him and started punching him.
Yeah,
in the face.
the guy in the clip, in the full clip, you can see the player that he is instigating with cross checks or appears to cross check towards the head.
This from our
it's on Hockey
Twitter
Fights
account.
It's on Hockey Fights' social media last week, and I put the tweet up, and I also highlighted the player for you just so you can kind of see everything. But yeah, what you see is a cross check happen, and then he kind of comes in like a bat out of hell and just grabs him and starts punching. But like that's what the instigator rule is for. You're not supposed to follow it.
That's an instigator.
You're not supposed to follow it with a 7-game suspension afterwards.
Based on what you say here, based on what I'm seeing, that should be.
And that's what it was 2, 5, 10. You missed and that's what the instigator was actually created for, is to stop guys from getting jumped. But it's turned into this mess of like it looks violent, so we're going to give him a 7-game suspension. I don't know. I don't know. It's not for me, but. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the leagues and what happens with. Well, the issue is that you can't deal with the fighting issue without dealing with the hitting issue. Their one pillar can't come down without the other one collapsing as well. And so, good luck to the leagues that are banning fighting. Trying to stay on top of your player safety issues is. I wish you all the luck in the world.
Yeah, no fighting has not been suspended in junior A hockey. It's just very difficult to do now. But also the stupid thing about this cage rule is if you're 18 plus, you don't have to wear a cage. So only the younger guys have to wear cages. So half the players aren't even wearing them. So then you get these guys who have cages who feel indestructible running around, and then the guy who's wearing a visor can't do anything about it because he's just punching the guy's cage.
And so they're from going because it used to be everyone had to wear halves.
Yes,
correct? Half visors.
That's what it was last year.
Every rule that they put in is a slippery slope to kind of get rid of it. That's what they've been trying to do for a while, and it's effective because it's working. But we can't just skip steps. As the guy that runs hockeyfights.com, I recognize that fighting has its place, but also that fighting has, issues behind it that do affect players long term, and they need more information on that basis alone. But again, I just can't ignore the fact that fighting is in there for a reason, and we're eliminating it. There's
literally leagues opening now of bare knuckle fighting.
Yeah.
They're open. They're starting. Like this is a thing you can find online.
Yep.
They're starting areas where you can go to take this out of hockey is just ridiculous. These people need to just go find something to do with their lives outside of ruining the game.
Yeah. My final thoughts on the cage thing. I don't think it's bad that they're trying to bring this in. At the end of the day, every player in junior A hockey's goal is to go to the NCAA where they wear them anyway. So it doesn't really matter. It's just the fact of half these kids have to wear them, half of them don't. Just put your foot down and say, we're all wearing them or we're all not wearing them. It's eventually going to get grandfathered in. And it's not these leagues' fault. They've been kind of put into a corner of being like, you have to put this in somehow, and it's
they're
like
getting
piss out
cornered in
everyone
by
else.
stupid reasons.
Yes, exactly,
And
that's the problem.
And stupid people.
And then it also it like to that as well. It then makes the league like it puts them into a tough spot because I mean. The QMJHL and people that cover the QMJHL are mad at me at hockey fights because I've been saying that they've banned fighting. Well, they haven't actually banned fighting,
sure as hell
but they've effectively done it. They've effectively done it. And at some point we have to get out of the semantics and just recognize that that's what they're doing. And here's what the issues are going to be.
They need to own it. Yep. If you're going to do that, then stand up like an adult and own the fact that you're saying, this is what we're doing. Don't try and mask it by saying this, that, you're lying to everybody.
Yep.
You know what's being said behind closed doors in your little meeting of the smart people, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. Just come out and be honest.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. There we go.
Well, there you have it, folks.
Debate ended.
Shout out to our sponsors, Overland Mountain Lodge, for hosting half our team this past week. Nation Geared sale ends today. Seattle Nation Vacation is sold out, but thanks to that. Cornerstone Insurance, Wilhauk Beef Jerky, not beef jerky. Beef jerky. Thank you for listening. Fare thee well.